football chest. All right, we have the joke of the day with Linda.
What does the Milky Way call its ex-girlfriend?
What does the Milky Way call its ex-girlfriend?
Space X.
Oh, SpaceX. SpaceX, I get it, yeah.
In the night, where the lights light up, where the trees never freeze.
Please subscribe show.
Casting shadows.
YouTube Cole Spivey. Yeah, man.
In the closet, a pink yoga ball. A place that has no halls, where the floor always creaks. Wall switches always.
On your phone.
Hang on. Look at this thing right here, though. Right here. It's like a diving board. See that? It's like a dock. Holy cow. That's not very wise.
Where you sleep.
This car broke down.
I don't know. I don't think so, because I don't see a car anywhere around here.
Gotta go somewhere.
No, people actually walk. Yeah, people will walk through this area all the time. I've seen when I used to, Hip Pocket used to be
Don't
right.
forget my special stuff.
Right. Hip Pocket used to be right beside this Grace Church right here. Hip Pocket was off Las Vegas Trail, which is right here. That's Las Vegas Trail. And Hip Pocket Theater originally was on this, off this road that we're coming to. Right there's the church. That's Grace Church right there. So a long time ago in the 90s, that's when I was introduced to Hip Pocket Theater. And I was an actor for Hip Pocket Theater. And this is Las Vegas Trail. Now they moved locations. They're no longer at this location. But this was known as Oak Acres. And Oak Acres was a name of the property that Hip Pocket was at located. And I'd done maybe, I don't know, a good 10 plays here. I was actually cast to play Ed Wood in a play called Hubcaps Over Hollywood, but I got cast as Stanley Kowalski at Texas Wesleyan University, and I chose to do Stanley Kowalski in Streetcar Named Desire. But this is where they did Hubcaps Over Hollywood. They also did Fatty Arbuckle play called Fatty in Babylon. And this was the road to Hip Pocket. Now it does have a mailbox right here. You see there's a mailbox. They have a no trespassing. I don't know for sure.
Oh, there's big dogs. Come on.
Where's the dogs?
Over there. Woof.
Where? I don't see any.
What are you doing?
I'm looking at something.
What are you talking about? This church.
Do you see any? Do you see? Look, that was a barbecue restaurant right there. That was a barbecue restaurant a long time ago. And this is where we go to do plays. That was the costume room right here. If you look this way. Johnny Simons and Deanne Simons were the creators of Hip Pocket. They were the ones that started it, so they created it and started it up. They actually started at a place called Joe's Garage, which you can see some of the costumes still there. See some of the costumes right there? Some of the costumes are still there. So they still have costumes. And it was a theater. It was an outdoor theater. And the first play that I ever did here, oh, it was right there. That's where the theater was. It was an outdoor theater right there. That's part of it right there. You can see it. They called it Oak Acres. It was Hip Pocket Theater. And the first play that I did was called BVD's Greet. Anyway, that was the play right there. The second play that we did was, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, was Adventures with Jesus. And Mark Friedman played Jesus, and I played Luke. That was part of where the theater was right there. Another play that we did was The Three Cuckolds, and I played Arlecchino. That was Arlecchino. There's where they did music. So they did music right there, and they served beer and barbecue in different areas. But they have some like older equipment and everything. And there's some of the barbecue equipment right here. And this is where we would go, where a lot of the actors would go to do what's called the Brechtian theory, and only those actors know what it was. We also did a play called Waiting for Godot. I played Lucky. One of my friends played Pazzo. And Charlie Baker from Breaking Bad. Charlie Baker was in Breaking Bad. He played Skinny Pete. He was in Waiting for Godot, and he played, I believe, Gogo. Maybe Dee Dee. I'd have to go back. Brian Beck was, I think, maybe Gogo or Dee Dee. I don't know. I get those two mixed up. But he was in it. He was either Dee Dee or Gogo. But we did a film shoot right here, or we did a video. Well, not video shoot. We did a film shoot. It was basically it was a still photograph for the actual Star Telegram. And this is Hip Pocket right here. This is the parking lot of Hip Pocket Theater. The original Hip Pocket. It moved locations. Linda's scared. She's going this way. But anyway, men in BVDs greet women in lingerie or something. I don't know. The first play was hard to remember. It was men in BVDs greet women in brazier. I don't remember. Women in brawls or something. I don't remember I have to look back. The second one was Adventure with Jesus. The third one was Three Cuckolds. Then I think we ended up doing Mountebank Changing Places, but we did that at a restaurant. But it was out of Hip Pocket. Also, yeah, you can see the whole aspect. That was where you would get the tickets right there. That was the ticket booth. And behind it was a big stage. It was a circular stage. And that was where the costumes were right there. I think the following year they did Ed Wood, which was Hubcaps Over Hollywood. And I did Stanley Kowalski at Streetcar Named Desire, Streetcar Named Desire was the name of the play. It was a Tennessee Williams play. I did that at Texas Wesleyan, so that they weren't part of that. But Deanne did help with the costumes for Streetcar Named Desire. And I played Stanley Kowalski, which was the Marlon Brando role. And I was offered the Johnny Depp role with Ed Wood, and I turned it down. Another guy that was named Ed actually played Ed Wood. He did a really good job. Brave Combo did the music for Ed Wood. And I think also another play that was done here was also On the Road, but I wasn't in it. I had actually left to California then. That was in 1999. But we did do Waiting for Godot too. And I want to say there was another play that we did too. There was a few of them. But this was the entrance. And the other Hip Pocket moved. They moved locations because they got in a feud with the guy who owned the barbecue restaurant, which was right here. And that's the barbecue restaurant right there. And you can see where it says barbecue right there. And it says Oak Acres. That sign actually says Oak Acres right there. Let's see if I can show
some smoke.
Yeah, you just can smell barbecue all the time. That's the sign that says Oak Acres. You can kind of see it right there. Sun is kind of blocking there. And I'm trying to think that year after Ed Wood. Okay, so they moved to a restaurant, and that year we did Mountebank Changing Places and a play called Swank City. And Swank City was actually written by Pete Gooch, who was a director. He also directed Ed Wood, and he directed Fatty and Babylon. Ed Wood was actually called Hubcaps Over Hollywood. And here is the restaurant, the barbecue place, which probably should say Oak Acres. Yeah, it does. And that's, the owner there didn't get along with Johnny. And I mean Johnny Simons. And they had to pick up and move to another location. You could get barbecue in there. I guess maybe 5, maybe I did 5 plays, maybe 6. I can't really remember if it was 5 or 6 there, and then maybe 3 or 4 at the restaurant off of West Magnolia in Fort Worth, which we definitely did. Swank City. We did our, Brian Beck and I had our own theater company called Rag Carpet Theater Group. He was the president, I was the vice president. We did a play called Partners in Wonder. Oh, I remember now. I did a mime show there called A Cup of Joe. And we did Lysistrata. That year we did Lysistrata. I played one of the soldiers. And after the show, you could come see the mime show, which was called A Cup of Joe. And I actually was the mime in that. And at that time, I had taken mime from Johnny Simons at Texas Wesleyan University. It was a mime, mask, and movement class. And I had went up to Ohio, in Gambry, Ohio, and took mime from a guy named Greg Goldston. And Greg taught me, and so did Johnny. But Greg studied with Marcel Marceau, who was from Paris, also known as Beep. So Greg learned from Beep, or from Marcel Marceau, and then Greg taught me. So I actually know part of Marcel Marceau's technique, which really is based out of France, and Marcel Marceau learned from Etienne Decroux. And so did Johnny Simons, because Johnny Simons studied it at Duke University. So I was taught by a Southern mime and a Northern mime. Because Brian wanted us to go up to Ohio and learn mime at the time. And we came back, and that's when we did Partners in Wonders. And that's also when I did Cup of Joe, too. I did Cup of Joe there. And it was about a 30 or 40 minute mime show. I think it was about a 40-minute mime show. It was free to go to, and it was after hours, meaning it was after Lysistrata. I think we did a few other plays that year too. I'm just going blank right now on all the plays. But I helped mostly as an actor. So I was mostly an actor and a student of Johnny Simons at Wesleyan. So the real hip pocket is off Silver Creek, but we're not going to go to that right now.